Good morning, Floss Tube. It's Kara here. I am here because I'm doing the 2018 Euro WIPS. I'm excited. I'm really excited. I didn't plan on doing this until like about a couple weeks ago, and then I was like, I want to do that. And then I looked on my WIP accountability board. Yes, I'm in a different area for now because I'm also hiding from my 2-year-old. But anyways, I was looking at my WIP accountability board and realized that I only had 10 WIPs. And I was like, the one time I don't have enough things to join a challenge for the giveaway. So I started a few things. I had 10 WIPs. Now I have 27. Crazy. Sorry, itchy nose. So I'm going to go through those hopefully as quickly as I can because today is January 18th. Today is the start of the Euro WIPS. And I am stoked because I know I'll have some finishes. I know that this will encourage me to get a lot of these done and just get work on some of them because some of them haven't had the love that they deserve. So let's go through them. I've even numbered them so I don't forget what they are. And I also have a folder in a Melanie's group, Soulful Stitching. It's I think I've labeled it Crafty Kara's Euro WIPS or YOW. So let's go. So WIP number 1, surprise, surprise, is Pinocchio. Let me see, there's my number 1. This has been started over 2 years ago. I think it's going on 3 years. Oh, I got a tangle. Okay. So here is where Pinocchio is right now. I have what I call 3 pages left because I've split this up to 12 pages. I know she said it might count as, each page might count as an individual finish if it was more than 8, which I would consider this, but I don't care. Pinocchio needs to be done this year. But all I have left are these 3 pages. Hard to tell with this light, but you can kind of see where I have the gridding. I don't know. Hard to hold it up. So like here's 1 page, here's 2 page, there's 3. But my goal is to get him done by May. It's a tough goal. Plus there's still a lot of back stitch and French knots and stuff like that to do. That's WIP number 1. I'll try not to be too noisy, but with as many WIPs as I've got to get them back in their bags because I went through a hot mess to reorganize this. I have a basket or a tote. Look at this. That I've put all these things in. I don't even have enough little things like this. I've had to be very I had to improvise. So it is what it is. Sorry, my hair, I think it's because I'm touching this. Back here, it's driving me crazy. Okay. WIP number 2 is my Twisted Band sampler. Number 2. A lot of us know what that looks like. This is the finished design, though I've changed the colors. I would really like to get this finished, but realistically, I'm going for a halfway goal for me for this year. So I would say, looking at it, I might be a quarter of the way through, maybe. So, but I love this. This is beautiful. But that is where I am currently. So yeah, halfway would be nice. Probably where the dark yellow band is where ideally I would really be happy with if I got to that point by the end of the year. So I know we want to do some finishes, but of course the goal is to have some good progress. So That will make me happy because this WIP is over 2 years old because I started this back in May of 2015. I have the exact dates. I have the exact dates on my my photo album in the Facebook group. So because that's out there, and I'm trying not to go out there. Number 3. Oh, no, sorry, wrong one. Number 3, smaller, is my Star Trek onesie. This I started 2 years ago when my son was 3 months old. He is now 24 months old, so this will not fit him. I liked it, and then I just all of a sudden stopped working on it. So my goal is to finish this because I don't want to not finish it and toss it. I want to finish it and maybe sell it on a Facebook group, whether it's for crafty things or for Star Trek fans, because it's going to say the next generation. And so there's just that. And let me show you what it's supposed to look like. I should have had the page mark. Oh, there it is. It's from the Star Trek cross stitch book. And there's the pattern, or what it's going to look like. And of course, I had it on a onesie. It's very cute. Just didn't get it done for him to wear. Though I always thought I could always put this on a larger shirt. Number 4 is from Cross Stitch Crazy. There's my number 4 on it, so you can see. From Cross Stitch Crazy, nearly 2 years ago. Yes, 2 years ago now. In January of 2000. No, 3 years. This is from January 2015. And this has the freebie bobble kits that came with it, with the patterns inside the magazine. And I had a working copy, but it got wet, so I haven't made a new working copy. But it came with the cards, and it dangles inside. Crafty Bit had did these, and that's what I remember working on. And I'm only wanting to finish the blue one this year, and that, oh, I might have this, sorry, that's all that I have done. So, it's been sitting there for quite some time, 3 years now. Well, I started it last year. I've had it for a while. Let me rephrase that. I started it during a challenge last year, or actually it was 2016, but it was started as a Stitch What challenge from Cross Stitch It's Fun. So it needs to be finished so I can do what I need to with that. Number 5. I feel like I'm on Sesame Street. Number 5 is an old WIP. It's Heaven and Earth freebie design that they had once, but I think it's discontinued now. Furry animals. This is a larger picture instead of the smaller one because I like to see the detail a bit more, because this is going to be close to what it looks like. This is a not restart. This has been started for the 3rd time. I tried it twice on 25 count. Once I gridded it like every 10, which I hated, and it was with that silly red fishing line stuff. And then I gridded it again, just the center, I think, and I didn't like how it looked on 25 count. So I restarted it on 22 count, and I only gridded the outside edges. And I really like how it looks so far. It's just when you start something for the 3rd time, the energy gets sucked out of it. But I know I've seen a couple people in some groups, I forget because I'm in too many, really work on progress on this, and it makes me want to work on it as well. My goal for this, even though it's this very tiny Haid, I would be ecstatic if I got half of it done this year because of where this has been. I started this, restarted it in January last year. Oh, was today that day? Yesterday, January 17, I think. Yeah, for a full coverage sale. Okay, so anyways, that's that. Verse 6. Ta-da! These were fun. I looked on Google and found some handwritten fonts, and I made little stickers. I drew them all. And I needed that one day. It was a stress reliever to draw those. It is from Cross Stitch Crazy. And this is Peter Rabbit design. I started this about this time last year as well. This was a design that, based on votes from one of my videos, was one of the first magazines patterns that I stitched. I love this. It's just I'm having difficult with, I have a working copy in here. And trying to scratch off what I've stitched is, I don't know, it's messing with my brain. So it's slowing down my progress. But this, sorry for the threads too. This is what I have so far. It is just a teeny tiny, well, it's a teeny. It is most of her coat. So it is small, but not the tiniest start. Sorry. And this is on hand-dyed 18 count fabric by me, and it is getting washed out with the light that I have in here. That's my thought. Love to get that done. Love to, because I think once I can get going on it, I should be able to do that. But then if I get halfway through for this year, I would be happy with that as well. Number 7 is a Busella kit that I started in March last year in remembrance of a babysitter that me and my sister had. She had the design, or she had stitched the design. When she passed away, the family gave the design to my sister, which was then turned into a pillow. And it was well loved by her children that it fell apart. So I'm going to restitch it and frame it for her. The original was stitched on a 14 count Aida. So this is what it looks like. And the start I have is seriously the tiniest little, like right here in the dead center. Tiniest, most pathetic start, I think. But I've put this on 16 count instead because of the size that it is. I wanted to shrink it a little bit so it can be in a more manageable frame, and I think the coverage would look much nicer if it was on a smaller count. So that probably won't get finished this year. My realistic goal is to get a quarter of it done. That would make me happy because of all the other stuff I have lined up. Probably not going to get done. But she knows that I have it. She knows she'll get it when it's done. Number 8 is Lizzie Kate, Time for God. And there is Lizzie Kate's Time for God. I started this during my Outrageous October, but just last year, but I've had this design nearly for 3 years, maybe a tiny bit more. And then I've had the threads for a year and a half. All the called for colors. So it has been sitting, waiting for me to start. And I finally started during Outrageous October. And I have a small start, but it is a start. So it's almost the first full line because I think, let's try this again. It is almost a first full line, but I still have to put the green block, or not green, is it green? No, the pink block behind the W. And again, once I sit down and work on this, it will go by very quickly. I think in a week's time, it should be done. But again, I find myself not giving this the time as it should deserve. And I think, if I recall, it was the not knowing how I'm going to FFO it. And I still don't know exactly because it is such an odd size that I think that slowed me down from ever starting it, because I usually have an FFO in mind when I start something. And that, because I guess I couldn't see that finish line. If you don't know how you're going to finish it, the finish line is just kind of vaguely out there, and I'm not as encouraged to get it done. Now the next ones, 9, 10, and 11 are kind of together because they're all in the same magazine. So here's 9, 10, and 11. They're from World of Cross Stitch of 2016, October. See if I can find the page here. Oops, not that one. But I do want to do that. Okay. It's for the things that go boo. There's the other design that I'll show you that I finished, but it's on the page with all the other patterns. But it's nearly finished, but I'm not counting it as part of my WIPS. I just need some beads, but it's in here. So here's the one I finished. It just needs, because I wanted French knots in some places, but I'm going to put beads, the Male Hill Petite beads instead. But I love how these look. So here's number 9. It's the pumpkins. So it has a little bit more ironwork is what I call it left, and box stitch, and then the beads. Number 10 is the witch. And found out that this is on a different piece of even. Well, this is linen. I don't know, it doesn't matter. It's not even, regardless. She is more tall than she is wide. You probably can't see, but here are the edges of the design, here and here, and then here and here. So she's a rectangle instead of a square. That's what stopped me, but I'm going to finish her. They're going to be pillows in my little dough bowl box. And here is the haunted house. I'm trying to remember which way it is up. I'm thinking this is it. So it's really pathetic starting that, but this one's also going to have the same problem. It's going to be more wide than tall. Let me show you those again. So there's the pumpkins, the witch, and the haunted house. This looks so cool. And I hand dyed all these fabrics. But this is kind of splotchy and kind of spooky, and I hand dyed this purple. It was fun doing these and how vibrant they turned out. So these will be done now, especially now that I have the beads. See, I have that finish line now ahead of me, and I will be more encouraged to get those complete. That was 9, 10, and 11. Excuse me. Number 12 is a very small Mill Hill ornament. This is the first teacher gift that I started. Started this actually November or December. Sorry, I have a thread here, because I am on the back stitch. This is what I have so far, and I'm not going to take this out of it. Yeah, there we go. That's good. There's number 12, and it's music, and that's what I want. So really, I have some back stitch and some beads, so it'll be done soon. This is for the elementary music teacher. The kids got a new one this year, and so I thought when I saw this, I thought that would be an easy, fast thing to stitch for a teacher. And she can hang it in the classroom, hang it on her Christmas tree later, whatever works for her. Number 13 is my twinkling trimmings. This is from World of Cross Stitch of November of 16. These are so gorgeous. I couldn't wait to start these, but I had to wait till I got the materials, and I wanted to start it closer to Christmas, but these take a lot more work and thought because of all the beads that are on here. I don't know if you can see. That's the one I'm working on. Though I have them cut for the others, I don't anticipate getting them all done this year. So that's what I have done. So it's maybe it's gonna be about this wide when it's done. But look, see if you can see that. Look how the beads pop off of that. I love it though. Just takes some thought. Like you can't just sit down and work on that for a minute. You need to focus on that. And that's why I think I went ahead and set that down. But I love these colors, and I've shown these before. But oh my. I feel like I should have more red beads than that, because look how little there is already. But look. And what's ever left over from that, those would be perfect for like little a string of Christmas lights on a tree. See, I'm already thinking. So yeah, that was number 13. Get that in there. But yeah, just to get that one done. Oh, sorry. And I haven't decided if I'm going to hang it on the Christmas tree or if I'm going to make like a, that will be my Christmas like double kind of stuff. Because I think those would be really neat as a pillow. And if I hang them on the tree, I might do them as a flat. Let's see what we got here. Number 14 was started on January 1st this year. And forgive him because he is also sharing fabric with a couple other designs. And he's still in the hoop because he will probably be the first thing I want to finish. Is Here Comes Santa Claus by Lizzie Kate. So, oh, there's my number 14. And there. So see, he's sharing this with a couple finishes I did for Thanksgiving and Christmas. Which I think he should have done for Christmas, but I didn't get in the mood for him until after Christmas is over. So, just a little bit of backstitch, and I'm using the Whisper. Oops, there it is. You can see how fuzzy that is. I'm using the Whisper for his trimming of all his little cuffs and his jacket, and then his hat and beard. So he isn't really close to being done. Probably my first finish here soon. He's so cute. You like it, Joanne? She's seeing her finish hers a while back. I was like, I have to do mine. Oh, and then I had the cute little buttons. Somewhere. They're in there. And then I will show you something else that will go in there in a minute. So he's going to sit over here. Number 15. Ta-da! See, I've already created the finish line for this, so this will be super fast. Number 15, first of all, I've already stitched this once before from issue 242's freebie charts. It's hard to show you because they're so pastel that you can't see it really well. And there's a chart on that page. There's those letters, the music letters, but I did them in the black and white. Well, this time it's on cream. This is for, even though I did this for the music teacher of my elementary last year for the kids, this is for, Ethan sees a different elementary teacher for music class once a week, which tomorrow is Friday, so he gets to see her, yay! And so here's my start on this. It's going to spell music, so M-U-S-I-C. And that's the finish. This is all I have. Now I will be honest, the picture I posted on the Facebook group, I don't have these notes in yet. So I will try to adjust that. But that's only like a half hour's worth of work right there while I was doing laundry. But that will be a quick finish. It's on cream this time to match this scrap that I got from my local needlework shop. That's mostly a quilting store. And see, this is as tall as it is, and it's of course folded in half. But I love this. When I saw it, I was like, oh, I have to have this because I think I know what I can do with this. Essentially, I'm going to do a flat fold kind of thing. I think it's Vanna Pfeiffer inspired, but then if I want to make a reference of something that's in my head would be Night Owl Stitchers, the one that's hanging on a refrigerator, where this would be like folded over a board about the size of the letters. And then on a slightly larger board, this is folded, over on that. And it's going to sit on it like this, pretty much, like a frame. And then I'm going to put like a beaded cord or some kind of nice ribbon or something so she can hang it on her door, hang it on the wall. And it's going to say, the teacher's name, music class. So she can use this for, wherever she goes. If she moves, she can, it's good for all of her students. And this will be a very quick finish. I can't wait for this. This will probably be one of my next finishes. The FFO might take a minute. Because I don't want to mess it up because that's the only fabric that I got. Yeah, I can't wait. That'll be fun. That's number 15. Number 16 is another one for my sister. Number 16. It's Frame a Name. It's a kit from Dimensions. This is a restart because I had stitched this for my sister once when my nephew was born almost 10 years ago. And so I finished it a little over 9 years ago. And with the divorce, it got lost. So we are going to make sure she has it again. And it comes with this lovely little thing to frame it with. Because I knew I had somewhere the original chart, but you need this. You really need this. So I couldn't just restitch it. But then I did find the chart again somewhere just in time. Where'd it go? I'm not going to show you, but I have my notes on there. Of how I charted his letters. So that way, I don't have to redo all of that. I mean, the thinking part is done. I just need to stitch. His name is Dennis. It's not that big, and it's the third, so it's going to have Dennis and I. But that's the tiniest finish because this is what it's going to look like. That's done. So that is what I have. And then I say a gift from God here, and she gets to put a picture over there. This shouldn't take too long because, again, since everything's charted out for me already that I had done before, the letters are done in a blue, like this. And then the animals, this is going to be done because there is some color changing, but you can do all the letters and then fill in the animals. This will take 2 minutes, literally. So that'll be done. Look at this. I'm only at number 16. I'm 30 minutes in. Makes me nervous. So my goal was to have that done and give it to her as a Christmas gift this year. So she can have that back, essentially. Number 17 is a newer start because of all of this. So was that. But this is something else I've already done before. It's called Factory Dr. Seuss, and excuse the water stain. I try to keep my children away from this stuff, but I still manage. to try to ruin my stuff. But nonetheless, I can always reprint it. But I've done this for the first grade teacher a couple years ago. This is for preschool. I thought that'd be fun for the kids to see in the classroom. And I have a pretty decent start. I worked on him for a couple hours and got that much done. So that's fun. I love Dr. Seuss. And I love that. And sorry, if you haven't seen Dr. Seuss's pattern from Cloud's Factory, it says, "You're never too old, too wacky, too wild to pick up a book and read to a child." And I'm going to put the teacher's name up here. I mean, like, you know, Mrs. So-and-so, da-da-da-da-da. So. Excuse me. But that was number 17. 18. It's an extremely old pattern to me because I started this before my son was born. So he's 2 years old now. This is probably started in November of 2015. It was a freebie kit from, was it World of Craft Stitch? I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah. Yep. It's a fuzzy moon. A fizzy moon, sorry. And the little insert for a card. This is set in my car as an ABC stitch that has hardly ever been touched because there's like 5 shades of beige that all look exactly the same to me. And that's all I have done. Not a whole lot left to do because if we're looking at it, there is just the hats to do and the little bits around their bellies, which is their scarves. Sorry. But yeah, there's like 5 shades of beige. But it needs to be done so I can do whatever with it. But I'm tired of it sitting in my car, not being touched. Number 19. It's a new start. I don't have the pattern printed, so I will insert a picture here. This is Jodric's Designs Teacher's Job. I was going to do something else for my son's 3rd grade teacher because I've already had her before with my daughter last year. So I need to do something different, something, I don't know, she hasn't, you know, it fits her personality more. And I thought that would be perfect. So here's the start of the branch. Now, after I started this, I measured this much and know that I will have enough to fit in the frame. The design will fit in the frame from here to here. But from here to here, I'm over by a 1/4 inch, which is more than a 1/4 inch when you talk about the frame overlap, which is probably another 1/4 inch. So I'm looking at the design where I'm going to have to like shrink it by a few stitches. So I'm having to do some calculations on what I can pull down, what I can push up. But I'm doing this with variegated threads. I can probably go over some colors. The only colors I haven't decided on is what color the butterfly is going to be. Because I don't think I'm going to know until I get there. The butterfly will be the last thing I stitch. But if you want to let me know your opinion, I'm going to show you a few. The caterpillar, I'm pretty sure, is going to be soft orange, like the pumpkin harvest orange. Okay. So I had pulled out Moe's Rose Tyler, but I still feel like I need a pop of color. So I have this nice raspberry, which would be a nice butterfly. I have Aura's Iris. And then confetti. I thought, once I saw that, I was like, that could be an awesome butterfly. So yeah, just let me know your opinion because I have no idea yet. We'll see. That's number 19, A Teacher's Job. All right, and number 20, this was originally a Busilla kit. I reprinted this because I don't have the cover to this anymore. This is Moving On by Busilla. This is a restart because this is another one of the things that got lost during my sister's divorce. I still have the original pattern, which you can see it's been marked up on by one of my children. I can't remember who, honestly. That's what it's going to look like. Oh, sorry. It's a 12 by 12 inch design, but it should be pretty quick because there's only a handful of colors, but there's like 8 shades of blue. And here's the original card that they came on. And some of these were DNC colors and some of them weren't. So luckily I've had this still, and I had to match and get threads for this. They're not all exact, but they are pretty darn close. The hardest one to match was the taupe, believe it or not. So there are my threads. Okay, and I have the smallest start on this, but it will go pretty quick because a lot of it's easy counting. So it's the bottom corner. We're in the doggy. And again, that was number 20. Moving on, and I'm moving on. Number 21 is from Daily Cross Stitch Readers Are Leaders, another one I've done before, but this is for the librarian of the school. And this time, I went ahead and decided to do the same colors because I do like them. I'm doing this on Fiddler's Ada. And instead of doing this landscape, I'm doing a portrait. So the books are going to be on top, and Readers Are Leaders are going to be below. So I have the tiny start of a book, one little book, right there. Yeah, this one will be finished by May, but yeah, this on top, Readers and Leaders are bottom. I think that'd be really cute. And I'm going to put the teacher's or the librarian's name in one of the books. Okay, that was 21. I'm getting toward the end of this box, I promise. I have my hoops and Q-snaps. I have some, so hopefully everything will be right here. The grab. Number 22 has not been started yet. Excuse me. I will show you the pattern here. This is from Nerdy Little Stitcher on Etsy. I'm not doing the whole thing. I'm just doing the pickle. I'm going to have to come up with the rest. I'm doing the pickle because the teacher I'm doing this for calls her class her pickles. Excuse me. So I'm going to stitch a pickle. Let's see, it's on this side. Stitch the pickle here, and then I'll put like Pitt's pickles over here. And this is going to go in a frame. So I've already picked, I decided let's do a hand dyed. So I picked a Shutter Green. I think that would be a really good pickle color. And those are for the cheeks. And then I haven't decided how I'm going to stitch Pitt's pickles, whether I'm going to do it in hand dyed or if I'm going to do it in black or something. But that's all ready to go. And that's number 22. This would be fun because it will go pretty fast once I start it. And it has to be done by May. So number 23. The rest of these are new starts, so this won't last much longer. Number 23 will be a new start pretty soon. It's a Lizzie Kate Be My Valentine. I got this in a Instagram giveaway a couple years ago. And so I really would like to do this. And so I have picked out all the colors. My go-to fabric is a 32 count Lagana taupe. I swear, I use this for everything. But I love it. It is a complete neutral. It's not too warm. It's not too cool. It's perfect for letting a lot of these designs pop. So there's that. And then here are, most of these are the called for colors, and some of them are not. Oops. And here's my red to make that pop. Be My Valentine. So that will be started pretty soon. I think once I can get a couple finishes by the end of this month already, I will probably start this probably at the very beginning of February, because it should only take a few days to stitch. Okay. Number 24 is a new start. I imagine it's going to be a new start by March. Lizzie Kate Stitching Forever. Stitching forever, housework whenever. So true. This should be pretty quick. I have at least 3 of the hand dyes that I want to do. I think the others are such a small amount of stitching that I'm probably just going to put DMC instead. Yes, this is a tiny piece, but this is supposed to be on 28 count, and I'm doing it on 32. And I'm probably just going to make it a little pillow thing, and it's seriously, I'll have room. I use my scraps. This is also going to help me with my Stitch from Stash that I'm a part of. This is going to help me get credits for that a lot. Goals. I've got goals. Number 25 is another Lizzie Kate. See, I'm trying to do a lot of these little snippets. Lizzie Kate's housework never killed anybody. So, but why take the chance? Right? It's just cute. Now, this is the one I told you that I would fit. Like, okay, so here's this fabric, right? And Santa Claus is pretty big, but I've measured the design, and this will fit right here. And I'll still have plenty of room, because most of these are going to be cut into pillow type things, so it's not going to be framed. But yeah, it will fit right here. And again, here's my go-to Lagana taupe. And I have most of the colors in that. I think there's one other color that I have, but it's in another pattern right now, but it will. Love the way those look together. That's going to be so much fun. So that was number 25. I like to start that soon, but it may not. Maybe it'll be a mid-spring, late spring start. There's number 26. This one will hopefully be started by May, maybe July. This is, oh, when I put it in the Facebook group, I'll change it. I wrote that it was by Itty Bitty. This is by Twisted Threads. The design name is Itty Bitty America, and it really is the tiniest little thing. I think because it's done 32 count, 1/1, and the design is 2 by 2.5. Very, very small. It's very cute. I have other designs with American theme, so I'm going to use the same colors because it shouldn't take that much doing 1/1. I have my toasted marshmallow. I have garnet, but then I have Cupid in the other pattern that I might use depending on what because the Cupid's a little bit more red and this is more of a darker, richer color, and then the navy. And this is on, I think it's oaked. Yeah, or oaken, excuse me. A 32 count Belfast oaken. And it kind of reminds me of the heroic, I can't say it, heroic, there we go. Oh, I know what I'm saying, but my tongue doesn't. It just doesn't have the strings of red and blue running through it. But I like this kind of a parchment look. And this will be perfect to go alongside those other American themed patterns that are already sitting in my doble. but that'll be fun, and especially since it's 1/1, it'll be tiny, because I think there are some road stitches in there, so those will stand out definitely. And then my last but not least, number 27, is a Lizzie Kate Hocus Pocus. I have had the Hocus Pocus pattern for over 3 years, but never knew what I wanted to do. Hocus Pocus. He's still been trying to break in here. And here's the fabric. Looking at this, I don't think I'm going to do the hand dyeds, because none of them really stand out except for the orange. But I do have something I think I can use. But this I hand dyed along with the other Halloween fabrics. This is fun. And I think I got a pretty good match. So that's why I think I'll just get the DMCs and do that real quick, and that would be perfect to go with my Halloween double stuff. And that is it. I am done. This has been long enough. I apologize. I think the next update will be for the year WIPS will be April. But I will still be showing regular updates with just whatever I'm working on probably monthly. But again, this will help me. I know it's a year WIPS and I've got a lot of new starts in there, but this will help me go through the stash, which is part of my Stitch from Stash promise I'm doing. I did buy that Jodry pattern, and I bought a couple threads to put in the moving on when I was replacing the threads for that. But other than that, I think I won't feel the need to buy anything for a while. Cross my fingers, because I know there's some people who are really good and haven't spent anything. I know there's other people who've said they've already caved. But we'll see. We'll see. I have a good pile here. I have, this is a wonderful group, and I think we're all good motivators. And I think sometimes finishing is addictive. Once you get one finish, like I can finish another, and then I can finish another, I'm gonna finish another. Because I know there are at least 6 guaranteed finishes in this pile right now. I can easily think of 10 that I can finish by May. So, and I have 27. So I just need to do, 14? Finish 14 patterns. So I'm halfway there already. So thanks for watching, and good luck, everybody. Let's see what we can do. Have fun. Bye.